Dear Bernard Cazeneuve, dear friends, as I have just said, Matignon is a great house in the service of France and of the French, a house where a lot of things are done in the service of our compatriots. And so, for me, it has been a great adventure, which lasted 32 months, with a very high-quality team, totally committed. When I think of my team, I refer to all those who have been at the service of the Prime Minister in his private office. And during these 32 months, I invested my energy, my love of France, my commitment to the French people, at the service of this country that I love above everything else, to reform it under the authority of the President of the Republic. I was a happy Prime Minister. I know it's difficult to say, given the ordeals that we've experienced, but there is no hell in Matignon. We serve France. Very serious events have taken place, and we have had to face some grave decisions together. 32 months with some very difficult moments, very big ordeals, the attacks, the threat. When you were Minister of the Interior, you were in the front line in the face of this terrorist threat. 32 months during which we have had moments of joy and pleasure. I'm referring to the semi-final of the Euro Football Championship. I know you have a passion for soccer and a moment of happiness. I'm thinking of the success of the COP21 conference, when France was engaged in a dialogue with the world and a policy in favor of enhancing the economic recovery, competitiveness, cutting taxes for the middle classes and the lower income groups. You have contributed in different ministries since 2012. You have contributed to these reforms, to these results. And of course, I assume responsibility for it. Here, you are in one of the great townhouses of the Republic. You know it very well. You have been here before, and the staff of this House, the teams, are totally committed. And once again, I would like to thank the men and women who work here, who serve the state. It's a great mission to serve the state and the general interest. One of the greatest missions to be at the service of the state. It represents in our country something unique, a heritage, which we need to preserve and maintain and consolidate. Dear Bernard Cazeneuve, we are used to handing powers over to each other. You succeeded me already in a previous position, and it is the choice of the President of the Republic. For me, it's a great pleasure. I'm leaving Matignon, and I thought it would be impossible for me to remain Prime Minister and also a candidate for the presidency of the Republic. But I'm leaving with great peace of mind. I know what I have to do. I also know that there is a statesman who is taking over from me, a great Minister of the Interior. You love France. We share the same ideal, that of the Republic, and I have no doubt that in this job, in the next few months, you will continue the reforms that we have implemented, and the French know they can rely on you and your qualities as a statesman, your political qualities, and your qualities as a human being. So I'm leaving with gravity, but also with a light heart. You are a friend. You are a brother. It is rare in political life to be able to rely on men of such quality as yours. I wish you every success and good luck. Long live the Republic, long live France, and thank you to you all. Mr. Prime Minister, dear Manuel Valls, first of all, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the words that you have just said to me. These words are signs of friendship and mutual request. At the time when you are leaving for new stages in your political career, I would like to say how honored I have been to serve the Republic under your authority and that of the President of the Republic as Minister of the Interior over the last few years. You reminded us yourself of the great moments we have experienced at the side of the President of the Republic. And because of these events will be in our memory and in our hearts forever, we have seen tragedies, the attacks, the terrorist attacks, which attacked the Republic at its heart. And we have seen that in such an ordeal, our people remain standing. We have seen what our law enforcement forces, our military forces are capable of. We didn't need to see them at work to know to what extent we love our country. But I must say that these ordeals, which we have experienced together, have made this love of our country even greater and which we share even more intensely. I would also like to tell you, Mr. Prime Minister, that in such moments, in the moments that we have experienced in the silence of our office, when we have to draw up major public policies for the ministry I was in charge of, I have always benefited from your support. I have always been able to benefit from your understanding, and in the difficult context, this confidence, this trust was essential and taught me a lot and will be very useful to me in the months to come, to make sure that we can continue the action undertaken by Jean-Marc Ayrault, by yourself, under the authority of François Hollande, to deeply reform our country. A few months remain, and you are better placed than anybody else to know that in politics, every day is useful, every day counts. And we will consequently use all these days, all these months ahead of us, in order to strengthen the Republic, to strengthen France, in order to enable France to face the challenges that exist. We must continue to protect the country from the terrorist threats. We have never ceased saying, you and the President of the Republic and myself, when I was Minister of the Interior, we are facing a very high level of threat, which means that we must continue to respond as we have done, and mobilizing the resources, the law enforcement and intelligence services. But protection also means the protection to which the French are attached, the protection of our social model, social protection, which means strengthening our efforts to maintain the balance of our accounts and to preserve our French social model. It is necessary to progress. Public service every day means making progress in Europe. There is still a lot of policies call for initiative on the part of France. I'm thinking of the migration challenge. We have worked a lot on this. I'm thinking of this. Within the European Union, we must continue to strengthen the EU's external borders, and we also owe protection to those who have been persecuted, who are being persecuted who need help to be relocated, and we also need to redevelop and develop the countries from which these men and women come, who are facing or fleeing terrible misery. And we also have to prepare for the future. With the President of the Republic, you have launched many projects in the field of research, innovation, in the field of sustainable development. You mentioned the extraordinary success of the COP21 conference, which put France in the front line in the fight against climate change, protecting, progressing, preparing for the future. That's what I will endeavor to do modestly in the new job the President of the Republic has given me the honor of entrusting, and I will do as you have done, with a single compass, a single direction, which has guided me throughout my ministerial career and which gives strength when the essential is at the heart. This compass is called the sense of the state. So for you, I express all my wishes, every wish, and my enduring friendship, my deep respect, and my great recognition and gratitude for the way we have worked together over the last few months. And this is, in politics, is called friendship.